Okay, question for you. Emotions. Are they good or are they bad?
Depends.
Okay. They say that there's 7 different emotions. There's joy, surprise, sadness, fear, contempt, disgust, and anger. So are they good or bad? I think the answer is yes. Because I think all of them can go either way. They can go both directions, even anger. Now, I know we tend to think of anger as very evil and very bad and very wrong, because most often we associate anger with violence and aggression. But you've got to think, anger sometimes protects us. It helps us defend someone else. Or sometimes, if applied correctly, anger can change the world. So the Bible gives some warnings about anger. And this statement is said twice in the Bible in 2 different books. The Bible says, be angry, but do not sin. You see, anger is a natural emotion, just like fear, just like sadness. But it's what we do with our anger that becomes a problem. You know as well as I do that anger can do horrible, horrible things to your hope. It can destroy the things that you're working towards, the relationships that you're working towards. Anger can cut deeply and make you feel like it's never going to get better and like you can't go on. Like many things, anger kind of has different degrees, kind of different severity. It can start like on a spectrum with, first off, you can be annoyed. From being annoyed, you can go to being just ticked off, to being upset. From upset, you can go to being downright mad, to being furious, to being enraged. Anger can be scary. Anger makes our heart rates go up, makes our blood pressure go up, and takes our adrenaline and it skyrockets. Anger can be a very dangerous thing. You know, they used to say, oh, it's good for you to get it out of your system. Well, psychologists are discovering now that the more you let anger elevate, the worse it gets. It's not so good to let it rage. But what do you do when somebody really ticks you off? Before it escalates, you have to really look at it. First off, pay attention to the warning signs. You know yourself. You know how you feel. Prevention is so much easier than cure. When you feel it mounting, deal with it then. Remember that hurt is often lurking behind your anger. So often, when we are hurt, that makes us feel weak and makes us feel vulnerable. So we come out with just the opposite, and we cover up our anger, our hurt, with something that feels strong and powerful. And then we don't feel like we're so likely to get hurt again. You need to tune in to your feelings and realize them for what's really going on. Relax and breathe deep from your gut. Up here, this kind of breathing, that doesn't relax you. You've got to breathe, right? Okay? That little extra bit of oxygen goes to your brain. That's not a bad thing when you're mad. Come on. Little oxygen is really a good thing. Pay attention. Let your body work with you when you're angry. Use humor when fitting. Okay? Lately, I had a friend tell me that he was talking with his wife and he had done something that really made her mad. And he said that he just kind of got a silly look on his face and said to her, "But you still love me anyway, don't you?" And it totally diffused the situation. Now, a warning on that one. Don't use that later on in the argument when things have escalated, or you are likely to get clobbered. But you can do it early on. Use logic. Remind yourself that you do have a reason to be upset. It's true, you do. But this is not the end of the world. Use your head. When we are angry, we use words often like always or never. You always leave me when we go to parties. Or you never pick up your socks. You know, that's not true. We exaggerate. We lose our rationale. Address your problem with logic, because that's how you're going to come up with solutions. There is a problem or you wouldn't be angry, okay? But you've got to use it in such a way that you can come up with solutions. And take some time to talk with God about what made you angry. He's always got an opinion, and it's always the right one. Ask him. Now let's go back to those texts. One of them's found in Psalms, one of them's found in Ephesians. Psalm says, "Be angry and do not sin. Ponder in your hearts on your beds and be silent." Okay, you hear that? You got some pondering to do. When your mouth's shut. Better time to ponder when your mouth's shut. The Bible says so, okay? Think it through. Pray it through. You know that how many of you do a lot of thinking in the middle of the night? Yeah, me too, unfortunately. It's a good time to ponder. Talk to God and figure it out. Then Paul says, "Be angry and do not sin. Do not let the sun go down on your anger, and give no opportunity to the devil." There may be some situations when you cannot process it all before you go to bed. But it's still a very legitimate thing to know that you can't sit on your anger. You cannot sit on it. It does not make it better. Explosive anger is so destructive, but so is stuffed anger. Stuffed anger can lead to resentment and bitterness and even depression. You've got to process it. You haven't conquered it just because you stuffed it inside. The goal of the anger is to process it and turn it into a solution. And the devil, how he would love to use your anger to lead to 100 other ways to destroy your hope. You can't give him that opportunity. You have to take a stand and deal with it. Ask God to help you. He is so willing and he is so able. He'll teach you how to turn it in to something that is productive. And he will point you to the light where you can hope again.